Yo, this is Moms or Whatever
Moms or whatever.
with your hosts, Mama Daze.
And Mama Cynth, welcome back. If you're coming back.
If not, welcome for the
Yes.
first time. Maybe the last. We don't know.
Yeah. We don't know what we're gonna say that might drive you off. If it's your first time, we're just a couple of sisters who talk every day and decided to just start recording our conversations and posting them on the internet.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What's up? What did you cook?
Oh, okay. So I got some ground beef, and because, ground beef is so versatile, I use it for everything. You guys, if you ever need a ground beef recipe, here's one for today. Um, I chopped up some onions and then bell pepper and then some garlic.
Is
Threw
this
it
not
in.
what you did yesterday? Oh, this is what you
No,
did with
this
your
is
egg.
not. This is what I did with my eggs. That was different. I put bell pepper, onions, and garlic in everything. I'm
Okay.
pregnant. I love it.
Okay.
Even if I wasn't pregnant, I'd probably still put that in everything. Um,
Did you start doing
then
that ever since Dad put that in his sausage with his sausage? Or have you just always done that?
bell peppers and onions.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's where I learned that I liked it a lot, but
Yeah.
I've been doing that. That's a me thing. I found a
Okay.
recipe that made me do that once and then I never stopped.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, but I threw that in the pan, and I threw the beef in, seasoned up the beef. This time though, I decided to I don't know what I was just feeling experimental, so I threw some apple cider vinegar and then some soy sauce in it too. It tasted really good.
I mean, those two go together. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then took some bread, we toasted it, put some cheese on it, and threw the beef on the like a little sandwich, almost like a little Philly cheese.
Ooh, ooh.
It was
Yes,
bomb.
please. Okay, see, I love making sandwiches with ground beef. You got me. You got me
It's
there.
so
It's so good.
good.
Are you using sourdough bread?
No, see, that's what sucks is I didn't go to Sprouts this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, cause after church on Sunday, I was done after
Oh yeah.
worship. Yeah.
I
So
know.
I usually like to get a really good bread from Sprouts, which is sourdough bread too. And then
Yeah.
no, I just got some random bread from Aldi's. Shout out to Aldi's.
Okay, you know what's scary? And maybe
What?
it's not scary, maybe it just makes sense because this is the world we live in and they're listening to everything that we're saying.
Yeah.
But I never heard of Aldi's until you brought it up.
Really?
And yeah, yeah. But ever since then, if I watch something on Hulu, I think that's where I get ads. Yeah, if I watch something on Hulu, then I get all these commercials of Aldi's.
Oh, that's
There
so
isn't even an
weird.
Aldi's where I live, but you talked to me about Aldi's and all of a
Because
sudden
I
I get
talked
these
about it.
commercials. Yeah.
That is so weird. It happens
Yeah,
to
it's
me
so
all the
weird.
time though.
I'm really close to giving up my iPhone. I mean I've talked to you about this before, but
Yeah.
it's it's the fact that I use it for I gotta say 50-50. I use it for I'm purposeful with it, you
Hmm.
know? But I hate that I use it in front of August.
Mm.
Even for FaceTime calls, you know?
It just feels
It's
wrong,
just
huh?
too much. Yeah. He knows he knows how to hang up.
Yeah, he does.
You know he does.
I know he does.
And he's not even one, and he's growing up in this world of iPhones. It's crazy. I think it's so weird.
I mean, I wouldn't be so hard on yourself because it's not like you guys watch TV all the time or anything either,
Well,
or have
no.
something on all the
Well,
time.
yeah, actually lately I have been.
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately. I've been watching it's one of those things that I think that I am addicted to the stimulation and having something in the background while I'm
mm,
doing anything at all.
I have that problem too.
Yeah, and I know it's a problem, so that's why I think I need to get rid of my iPhone. Lately it's been Boy Meets World.
And this boy meets
Yeah, and now
world.
August knows the theme song, but he's like, "Oh, he doesn't he doesn't know it. Like he can't
But he
sing
like
it,
sings
but he gets
along.
excited and he starts like
That's
singing
so
along. I'm like, uh-oh, I have been watching this every day.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that's not a bad show for him to be singing
No, I
along
know.
to,
I
though.
think it's such a good show.
It's
I
a
was
great
watching, I
show.
can't believe that we've strayed so far from real comedy and wholesome TV for the whole
Yes.
family.
No more Full
No,
House. No more
eat
Boy Meets
your
World.
banana. Yeah, Full House. I gotta watch that one next. See, I just can't put it down.
Nation.
Crying.
Oh, August.
Do you, maybe if I like
August.
crying?
Just
Anyways, we'll see how long he lasts. But yeah, Boy Meets World, Full House, wholesome TV for the whole family.
like, yeah. And it's not for me, let's say like not even just wholesome, but low stimulation, like just chill shows. Very chill, go
Yeah,
with the flow.
totally. I love it.
Um, yeah, I miss that. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch enough, but I don't know if I told you. So when I first got pregnant, I got super sick,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the times to fall asleep or to like just relax after everything that would happen,
Mm-hmm.
I would
Ugh.
watch old Disney movies that I did watch as a kid. So I would
Mm.
watch Bambi or Fox and the Hound.
Yeah,
And yeah,
classics.
just like very slow. And it made me feel so good. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I gotta save these for my baby to watch.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but that to me it's wholesome too when things go slow and are just like
Yes.
ooh.
Yes. I would love to. He really stops crying every time.
Really? What
Yeah.
if you get him a little fake microphone?
No, I have a real one, but it's kind of. Do you want more
You don't want him
banana?
to hurt himself either, huh?
Well, I don't want him to, because when he's over something and he's in his high chair, he
Throws it.
will grab it and he'll look at me straight in the eyes and just throw it on the floor.
Oh, and you don't want that to happen to a good microphone.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if it's gonna work. He's being
It's
really
okay.
fussy.
If we just have to make this a hangout call, we'll make it a hangout call.
Okay. I'm gonna take him out. Really quick. I'm gonna say hi to you. Maybe that's
Okay. August. Hi. This is how he communicates now, huh? He just goes, meh.
meh, meh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It
And I can still
does.
talk.
We'll just hear little meh in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the with Calvin versus the Armenian view of theology?
No, actually, I'm not.
Something that a friend of ours and Oscar and I just kind of are always talking about, which
Mm-hmm.
is there's an
Okay.
acronym and it's TULIP. And
Okay.
the letter L is limited atonement,
Ooh.
meaning that Jesus died not for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but for his children. And
Mm.
so it was limited to those that,
Limited to those who wanted to atone, to who those who repent, pretty much.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's total depravity, unconditional election, limited atonement, irresistible grace, and perseverance of the saints. One thing that we are always not arguing about, but just discussing
Mm-hmm.
is, did God make people to go to hell?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if God is sovereign, he's totally in control.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus didn't die for everyone's sins, only his children's, then we could assume that if God's in control, that
Mm-hmm.
he made some people knowing that they would never reach the kingdom of heaven.
Okay. That's wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
thought about that before.
Yeah.
Because of trying to remember where in the New Testament, I think it's Paul, talks about the elect
Exactly. Exactly.
who have been, yes, specifically chosen. And then when we look at the whole lineage that leads to Jesus Christ, yes, there were people who were specifically chosen to lead up to that, to lead up to the Messiah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so I can, but then, but then again, those same people he chose, they still had free will and they still could have chosen not to.
So you do think we have free will.
I do. But then
But
again,
God's but I'm not, and I don't want to turn this
yeah.
into a debate. It's just a discussion because like we don't know everything.
No,
There's
yeah,
no way we
we're
can.
never meant to
Yeah.
know
Yeah, we're
everything.
yeah. So, but we can talk about it. And like when I hear free will, that makes me think that we can resist his grace. But I do, I mean, there's verses and we would have to look them up that his grace is irresistible.
It is.
Yeah. So irresistible to who though? To who he
I
chooses.
see, but here's the thing
Okay.
is is you don't really know that you're chosen by God until you get to the point where you have a relationship
Oh.
with God, if that makes sense. So I feel like there are people who at this moment, maybe they're not chosen from the sight of us as humans, but God already knows where their life's heading, and they are. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Okay. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. And then,
But God, okay, think about the story of Pharaoh and Moses. Okay.
okay.
Pharaoh, he was on the verge of being like, okay, yeah, like tell your God, like we're good. I
Mm-hmm.
message received. And as soon as it was all good, what happened? The Lord hardened his heart,
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
true.
And so then we can think, and then
Uh,
it says over and over that when he took the Israelites through the sea, right? And he said, I'm gonna harden Pharaoh's heart for my glory. And what
mm-hmm.
ended up happening to Pharaoh? Him and his whole army of people ended up drowning and
Yeah,
dying
I died.
with a hardened heart. And that was all God. That was all in his control because he said it that he would harden his heart for his glory. So we can assume that he hardens people's hearts
For
because
his
he does
glory.
for his glory. Yeah.
That's true. That is true. But what happens after that? We don't know.
Right. We don't know if Pharaoh's, is that what you're saying? We don't know if Pharaoh's
Yeah,
in
we
heaven.
don't know if Pharaoh's in heaven or not, or we don't
Mm-hmm.
know if, yes, God hardened his heart, but do we know that he did that specifically for that situation so that we have this story that reveals his glory, and then
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, he's like, all right, because he knows Pharaoh's heart better than any of us do. So
Yeah, he does.
I don't know. This
I
is
know. It's
a tricky
hard.
thing.
It's really
But
hard.
and then I just can't help though. You look all the way back at Eve from the get-go, from the beginning. She had a choice.
Exactly. Exactly. She did have a choice. She
Hmm.
did have a choice, but ultimately it was God's plan.
That's true. That is true. Whoa. But but then but then but then
Yes,
hold
yes.
on, my brain
Please,
is
please.
working.
Okay, and then okay, and my friend he brings up something that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. Like our God is supposed to be this loving God. He
Hmm.
is. And he says over and
Yes.
over how much he loves us and how he will protect us and how he's preparing a place for us, all of the good things that
Hmm.
we look forward to. So would a loving God like put two babies in a pool? Like
Hmm.
I don't know exactly how he said it, but one with floaties and one without, and purposely like just because that's his plan for one to drown and the other one to live.
Well, one thing that I think remember too, though, is that I don't know, maybe.
Right, right,
Honestly.
right. I know. And Oscar and I, we're in the camp of like, maybe, because that's what he said.
But
I don't.
also I've had this conversation before where it's like the enemy, the way God can use even the enemy to his disposal, like how he
Yeah.
used him with Job.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah. Totally.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we can say that. I mean, it's the same thing. Here's the same example. Okay,
Yeah.
one woman has her baby and they're alive, and another woman, her baby is not alive when she gives birth.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. We will never know why that's what God chose to
Right.
do.
Right.
But
But I think the point that he was making and it was made to me is that is the question is that a loving God? Because
well,
he
just
could,
because what we as humans, just because we may see that as unfair, doesn't mean it's not loving. We don't know what his plan is. Who
yeah,
knows how that baby without the floaties is going to impact everyone else who knows that baby or the
right.
baby with the floaties. I
And
don't
but
know.
the analogy, it's floating means heaven, sinking
Yes.
means hell.
Yes.
So the destiny is that's eternal, eternal flames, eternal suffering. Something that I've been thinking about is so so he does make some of his children for, and then there's that Bible verse of the clay in Romans. Do you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about? So this is as has the potter no right over the clay to make out of the same lump one vessel for honorable use and another for dishonorable use. He is the
Mm.
potter, we are the clay. Does he not have the right to make some of us for honorable and some of us for dishonorable
He
use?
does. He does. But then every time Jesus speaks, you know, he's he tells us all the time we we play a huge role in how that plays out too. I think
Yeah.
because yes, he's there we go. That's where the lovingness comes in and the mercifulness and the grace is that, God probably does choose people who are like, yeah, this maybe this person is not going to be the example believer, or maybe this person is supposed to be, I don't know, like,
Whoa, you I just lost you.
can you? Oh, wait, let me find my train of thought.
So,
I lost my train of thought. I
oh,
have to
that's
find it
okay. That's
again.
okay.
Yeah.
Mom brain. Mom brain on moms or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The point I
Right
was,
now, oh sorry. No, no, no,
what?
no, no. You brought it came
Oh,
back. Go, go.
yeah, it's coming back. The point I was getting to is that regardless of whether or not, like, yes, we're aware that there are elect, there are people that are chosen, and there are some who may or may not get their heart hardened because God can do what he wants. He
Yeah.
is God.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I think free will and choice come in, is that because we don't know exactly, and God never intended us for us to know exactly, he still gave us the choice to go and choose him
I
willingly.
believe that. Yes, I'm with you
Yeah.
there. I do agree that it it goes hand in hand. We
Yeah, it
choose.
does.
We
Yeah.
choose, but I do think that it is irresistible to those of us who
Yes.
choose.
Those of us who choose, it's yes, I know what you're saying. Like it was always going to be that way,
Yes, it was
regardless,
all
because that's
he's
how God
known.
planned
He's
it.
known forever.
I believe that I do because then you can't help but look at our family. Yeah, or my husband's family, where here's a good example. My dad talked about the great earthquake that happened. I believe it was in the 70s in Guatemala.
Mm-hmm.
And like almost their whole town was like destroyed by that earthquake.
Whoa.
And everybody, my dad said that well, dad, because he's our dad, dad said
Yeah.
that everybody lost someone. My mom's
Oh,
family did not, and dad's family did not.
whoa.
It makes you think, whoa, that's kind of weird. And the
Yeah.
families he knew, I'm not saying that like there weren't other people who
Yeah.
were blessed that way,
No, yeah.
but
I mean, the Bible
yeah,
does bring up over and over again about generational blessings, about,
yeah,
yeah. So it's that I believe. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And that's what it makes me think of,
Mm-hmm.
honestly,
Yeah.
is that whole idea of it's like, well, yeah, maybe our family, there's someone in our family who has this lineage has to keep going to lead up to them who's going to impact more people to believe in our God and our sovereign God or to do his
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
whatever his will is. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's just one of those things that we have to accept that we cannot understand, that
Mm-hmm.
there would be people like Pharaoh and all the Egyptians who would lose their firstborns, but then there would be God's chosen people who would not.
Yeah.
And that's hard. I felt so much like, especially now that I have this baby, I'm
As
just
a
like, as
mom,
a
yes.
mom, I was just thinking
Yes.
how horrible to have been one of those Egyptians to lose their firstborn child. And
I when I read Old Testament, see, this is why God knows too.
Hmm,
We're
thank you.
giggling right now because of it. It's because he knows I purposefully stay in the New Testament more than the Old Testament for that reason. Because there's so much in the Old Testament that happens where I'm just like, but why? Like,
Yeah.
but
But it's so
okay,
important. It's so important to
it
understand
is
because all of it is to lead up to the Messiah. And
who
that's why
creates a
that's
huge
all I'm reading right
transformation
now.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really get through the Old Testament, but not. It's so crazy, when you read the Bible, like I just read Genesis and Exodus maybe a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm reading it again. It's like completely new
Yeah,
lens.
it happens all the
Totally.
time to
And I
me.
was like, was I even awake when I was reading this last time? I don't, it's
That's
crazy.
why I love my note-taking Bible because I will reread the notes I took from like
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, you did not know nothing. Now we know. Or like, or I'm like, oh yeah, I still don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I really like my Reformation Study Bible because it has little notes from R.C. Sproul, he's such a great theologian.
Ooh.
So it really brings some clarity, but sometimes, especially in the book of Psalms,
Mm.
I read his notes and I'm like, I don't think you were a poet because I don't think that's what he meant at all. We're not
You're
all gonna get
wrong.
it right. Honestly, I feel like you're wrong. That's how I feel a lot of time.
I think that's why I personally enjoy when each of us study the Bible on our own too, though, when we
Yeah.
don't use any like book or supplementation, is
Yeah.
because when you put yourself in the presence of God with His Word and then just you let Him reveal to you what needs to be revealed to
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
things
Totally.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But
But there's some
supplementation is
things like,
definitely needed
yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
times. Like the history behind everything is so important.
yeah.
Knowing who these people were, why God chose them, when He chose them, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. God is so good because on my one of my devotional 3 days ago was the question was, do you still believe that I love you
Mm.
unconditionally? Do you still believe that I'm working all things for your good? Do you still believe that you're in the palm of my hand? Do you still believe that I know the number of hairs on your head? A lot
Whoa.
of that over and over. And I was just like, yes, thank you. Because I've been so hung up on that I deserve wrath and I deserve hell and I deserve all the things, but
But you're loved.
yeah, but I'm loved.
There is,
Yeah.
He doesn't shame us.
Yeah.
He disciplines us
Mm-hmm.
with love.
Yes, he disciplines us, he tests us, he also blesses us with those tests and discipline. Um, we have 5 minutes left.
I'm trying to think of like my closing thoughts for this.
Yeah.
He's given me a lot to think about. But
Cool.
I always do this though because, Kevin and I will have questions when we're reading the Bible together at night. And more lately, this didn't happen when I first started reading the Bible, which is interesting. I find it interesting that God kind of made me more settled with my answers from his word before,
Mhm.
whereas right now I've noticed there's a shift and I'm constantly like, huh, I really don't understand that. Huh,
That's good.
what does this mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But then I can't help, I always think of that verse where it's like, your ways are higher than my ways, and your
Yeah.
thoughts are higher than my thoughts.
Yes.
And that always
Yes.
comforts me because at the end of the day, I'm okay with not knowing. And some
Yeah.
people need all the answers, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna trust God in everything. I know that He's good no matter what
Yeah.
I think. He
Yes.
loves me no matter what I think of myself.
Yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
loves people. Sometimes I'm like a little, uh,
Yeah.
and I won't understand all the time, but He's
Yeah.
got it. So
Yeah.
that's just
He is
how,
God.
yeah,
He is
He's God.
totally. Yeah. I
But
like that. His ways are higher, and we can't understand heavenly things when we're in our earthly bodies. We just can't.
we can't. And like it goes back to like when in Ezekiel, I was just reading Ezekiel randomly.
Okay.
When with the whole or Revelations, the creatures, the like lion mixed with the eagle and the
Oh
eyes
yeah.
and the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like for me personally, I'm like, ugh, that sounds gross.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
that's a creature, that's a part, that thing, whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
God created
God
with
created that.
purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Same way He made all of us with a purpose. Why I don't know
With a
what the purpose
purpose.
is.
Yeah. I think at least we can rest in the fact that if we trust and accept that Jesus paid the price for us and we
Hmm.
turn to him and we turn away from our sins, we are saved and we get to
Amen.
dwell in the house of the Lord for the rest of our lives, and he's with us and his spirit dwells in us. Those who do will be accepted into the kingdom of heaven, and that's what matters.
Those who don't understand, I pray and hope you do understand one day, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enough to know the love. Enough to be saved.
Do you hear him?
I did.
He's slapping and he's crying at the same time.
It's such a
Oh,
weird. Oh, we have a minute left.
oh gosh. I
That's
got
a
raw
lot of.
milk.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds yummy.
I've had the jars because, never mind, I'm not going to say that. That's too personal. But I got a gallon and a half, and it's way cheaper here than it is in the city.
How much is it?
I spent $20 for a gallon and a half when I spend, how much is it? I spend about $22 for 1 gallon in the city.
Okay.
In the city, I mean,
Oh, just for
the
one
farms that are
gallon,
for
and
one
you
gallon
got
is
one and a
22,
half.
and I got 1.5 for 20.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Okay. I'm sure you can hear him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. August, what do you think? We're gonna end with your thoughts. Yes, come on. You think Jesus is alive. Yes. Hallelujah. Okay, let's sing a song. So I'll throw up my hands and praise you again and again. And he's quiet. Hallelujah.
The
I'm gonna log
spirit
back
is
in. I'm gonna log
moving.
back in, and I'm gonna send you the link, okay? But thanks for
Okay.
tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.